Hello, everybody. Super Stacker here today, guys. Hopefully, you guys are doing well, and I'm sure you have all seen what gold and silver has done. Right now, gold is sitting at $3,857.31. It's gone down today, actually, from its all-time high of, I believe it was, what was it, $3,896, which was October 2nd. So it's gone down, obviously. More than likely, it's because of the sell-offs, profit taking. A lot of those paper, all the online, nothing really physical. It's more making that money, selling while it's high, and then buying while it's low. Uh, Sometimes they do that and repeat, do that and repeat, and they make a lot of money. And we're talking about high volume here, of course. So it adds up. And then silver spot price for today was $46.84. But it hit on October 1st, $47.97 per ounce, which, guys, it is almost 2011 again. Now, of course, the highest silver it's ever been was in 1980. I apologize, January 18th, 1980 to be precise. Silver hit the price of $49.45, and that was a lot of money back in the 80s if you're thinking about it. And of course, we all know the ones that have been stacking, that was caused by the Hunt brothers. They were, I believe, billionaires, and they were trying to gain control of the silver market. So they were buying it all up and, in a way, kind of hoarding it, supply and demand. And they were trying to raise the price, and it did. It hit the highest it ever did at $49.45. So again, it came close to touching 50, but it didn't quite accomplish it. But, it was almost there. Here's the old style Libertas. Such a beauty. I love these coins. Um, They are very popular, by the way. It really started after COVID, honestly. So, very beautiful coin, by the way. And here I have the first style, which is also a very beauty. This is the one that has the edging. Oh, I don't know if you can see it because of the capsule, but it has lettering instead of the reeded edging. That's the style 1, and then the style 2. And there's some rare dates actually on some of them. But either way, I'm getting out of subject, just admiring the beauty over here. Um, guys, it's really coming to that time of like 2011 when it hit close to 50 again. Those are the only two times where it's been this high, honestly. Um, Probably on October 1st was the third time it really got close to the 4870 in 2011. And, that wasn't too far away from what it did in 1980. Of course, I wasn't even born when that. I just love history, and I love my metals, and history repeats itself one way or another. What In 2011, what was causing the price to go up was definitely geopolitical instability and inflation driven. So, as you all know, it kind of followed a little while after the 2008 financial crisis that affected the homes in the US and other financial stuff. A lot of jobs closed, a lot of people lost their jobs. So definitely I could see why at that time. Of course, right now it's supply and demand. There's a lot of electronics in silver. Silver is being used in a lot of electronics, and we are using a lot of the reserves above ground. But you'd be like, well, there's plenty of silver out there. Well, yes and no, because if we're using a lot more than what's being mined, sooner or later it's going to catch up. And like I've been saying before, guys, silver should be 80 to 120 per ounce. So it's still a good buy, even though it hurts when you go out there and purchase some of those ounces. Because, man, I remember the good old days. You could buy 5 American silver eagles for $100. Those were the good old days. I remember like, oh yeah, I'll get 5 silver eagles, and then it got to 4, and then it goes up and down in waves. And then of course gold, guys, gold is being bought like crazy by central banks. I honestly believe a lot of banks like they're probably buying it as well, but not saying anything. Of course, they don't want us knowing that at all. It kind of looks, it's like voodoo for them. But come on, if central banks are buying it, wealthy people are buying it. And there was a number thrown the other day that I was doing some research. They were actually saying normally it was like a 5 or 10% in your portfolio. Now they're saying 20 or 30% in precious metals. That is a huge jump from what was originally the norm. So, and of course, with the prices of gold, I've said it before, I sound like a broken record on it, but it's going to get harder to buy a full ounce. The average person cannot go out there and spend over $4,000 on an ounce of gold. So, like I always say, they're going to jump into fractional, either bars, coin, round, fractional. That is what it's actually going to go, it's going to be at. And talking about fractional, the other day I went to some of my other part of the stack that I normally don't go, and I found my first gold piece. This was my first purchase I did, and it was probably like $60 or $70 at the time. I was in high school, and it's this little 1/20th of an ounce panda. And let me tell you, I was like excited, even though it was like, man, it's tiny compared to the other coins. And at the time, it seemed like it was a lot of money. A lot of money. And they're tiny, fractional. Beautiful little coin. But it was pretty cool. It brought back memories when I first bought this. And I guess I kind of got the gold fever, even though I kept buying more and more fractional. And at the time, the funny thing is like $60, $70 for 1/20th of an ounce. If somebody were to say, hey, I'll sell you this for $70, $80, you wouldn't even think twice. You'd be like, take my fiat currency. I'm buying it. So yeah, right there, my first gold coin ever. Too bad it was an American Gold Eagle, but the smallest they had was a 1/10, and that was a lot of money. And I also found my first gold nugget I ever purchased. It's been a while since I weighed this, but let me tell you, it's a good size nugget. Um, and I paid $25 for this. My first gold nugget. I only have two, and then I have some flakes when I went to Alaska, but this was my first nugget. And for $25, I believe that's what I paid. That was a heck of a deal. Especially at now's prices. It's amazing. Like the other day, somebody commented that they bought their first two gold peso. I believe it was the two. For $17. I actually have an old book about world coins, and like these were priced at like $20, $25 a coin. And I was like, that was amazing. I wish I could go back in time, right? So it is interesting, guys, to go back and see the purchases. At the moment, it seemed like so much money. It seemed like a lot of money. And then just going to present day right now, where gold prices are, for example, you're just like, wow, I actually had a heck of a deal. I wish I would have put all my money in it. And this one's also a very pretty coin right here. It's a reverse proof, I believe. But yeah, I have the American Silver Eagles here from various years. And the Libertads. The Libertads are so cool. Especially the new style. Here's a whole tube I have of them. They're just various dates. They're just beautiful, beautiful coins. Just look at that design. So guys, that's what's going on in the precious metals. Some people are predicting silver, if it goes, and I also agree, if it goes above $50 and breaks that record that it has never hit, I think it's just going to go up like crazy, especially with the demand of it being used on so many items, industrial, not just jewelry, bullion, but the demand for silver is pretty high. So I think also another thing is if people can't afford the full ounce of gold, what they're going to do is they're going to jump onto silver. Think about it. Silver is by the second most popular precious metal, in my opinion, compared to gold. When you think of gold, you think silver. They always say silver follows. So if gold continues the trend it's continuing, what people are, if they want to put their money into precious metals, if they can't get a lot of the fractional, what they're going to do is they're going to jump and they're going to go to silver. It might not be the American Silver Eagles or the Mexican Libertads. It might be regular rounds, whatever they could get for their buck, or vice versa. But the thing is, there probably might be a jump on silver, and that will increase even more on the price, I believe. But it's still more affordable to buy an ounce of silver than it is to even buy a small fractional gold coin. Like, for example, this Mexican dos pesos is a little under what's almost 1/20th of an ounce. It's a little less. You're looking at probably like $205 right now, 210, hit or miss, maybe a little more, maybe a little less. And then an American Silver Eagle, you'd probably be paying over $50. But if you think about it, people are probably going to run into silver if they can't even obtain the fractional gold. So it's going to be interesting, guys. And of course, nobody has a magic ball. Nobody knows exactly what's going to happen. The good thing is that we're in it. We're in it long term, and it's amazing to see it go up. But at the same time, like I always say, bittersweet, because you want to buy more, you want to hoard more. And I guess that's just natural human instinct. I remember when I first started with my first Mexican Libertads, I had two, and I would admire them. I added more coins, and they got to 10. I'm like, oh, I can't wait to get to 20. And you would work towards it. You'd get 20, and you were just happy, but at the same time, I want more, and more, and more, and more, and more. And it never seems to fully complete. And then you get bored of, like, let's say you get tired of just Mexican Libertads. You go to American Silver Eagles. You collect so many American Silver Eagles. You get tired of that. You jump onto a certain round or a certain coin from another country. It just never stops. And don't get me wrong. There's some of us that just collect one certain type and we're happy with it, which is great. Nothing wrong with that at all. But, when it comes down to it, as long as we're accumulating, we are doing good. Here's another one on my fractional. Probably maybe my only one I'll ever have, unless I get one. Well, I should say never. But there's such a high premium on these fractional ones just because they're Libertads. But they're a beautiful coin for sure. I really like it. I got lucky. And that's it for the video, guys. That's just my 2 cents on it. Well, I hope you guys are good. Hopefully you guys find the good sales and just keep on stacking, and we'll see where this goes. But either way, we're doing the right thing. Happy stacking, guys.